Let me disseminate this to a couple of people and we will get started with today's stream. Hey, we're live. So what we're going to do today, we're going to empty this tumbler right here. It's the 17-pound tumbler. It's been in the burnish cycle overnight. And then we're going to reload it with these rocks right here. Hey friend, how are you this morning? Okay. Move you guys over just a little bit. There. Is that better? I am good today. That was 7 minutes from stopping. I thought this one, can you guys see that? Hold on. So, rearrange things a little bit. I wanted to show you is that right there. That is all done. That's the front and that's the back. Look at that shine. Here's the other one. Look at how that turned out. Look at the shine on that. Isn't that great? And here, this is going in my collection. Shine turned out great. There's a couple that are going in my collection. I thought that turned out really good. Oh, and this one here turned out okay. But I wasn't happy with how the shine turned out. Real shiny in some spots and not so shiny in other spots. So I gotta decide what I want to do with that. Then this one here, this turned out really great. Look at how that turned out. That's got a nice shine. Oops. And that's on the floor. I was really happy how those turned out. And all my time using the other two tumblers, the smaller ones, I never had anything turn out like that. I get them shiny, but not shiny like that. So buying the bigger tumbler was worth the money. Hello, Penguin. How are you today? The lid comes off. And then this is just a rubber seal. Yeah. And I'm getting better results with the bigger tumbler. The bigger tumbler doesn't foam up real bad like the other one did. Here. And I can't find my oldest granddaughter's rocks. So I will have to send her some of mine. I found some of them last night. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. This is that black lace agate. It turns out really good. The only issue I have with it is if I try to do any carvings or anything with it, where I carve at doesn't polish. And that's an issue. I have to figure out how to fix that. See? Because we made a mouth out of that to make this a turtle head. The whole mouth did not polish. Everything else polished. I think I'm going to not carve as much until I get some more info. And this tourmaline turns out fabulous. Just fabulous. Get this all dried off. This is my grandson's tourmaline. Look at how that shined up. That turned out really nice for him. got a whole bunch of tourmaline in here. I told him I was going to mail it back to him on the 1st. And the stuff just turned out great. But my oldest granddaughter, she's not going to be happy that I can't find most of her rocks. She's something, we'll put it that way. I love her to death, but she can be something. There's some more of that tourmaline. Look at how that just shines. That stuff just shines up really nice. So how's your day going today, Sin? Mine is going pretty good so far. There's more of that tourmaline. Stuff turns out really good. Yeah, it's not supposed to be as hot today as it's been being, but then it's supposed to warm up again. I think Tuesday it's supposed to be 100 degrees again. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. There's some more of it. I'm really pleased with how this stuff tumbles up. Yeah. Excuse me. This one is, whoops, on the floor. This is going to have to go through again. See how it's shiny in spots and not in other spots. But I'm not going to, ooh, I wanted to show you this. I've never seen this before. This is a kidney-shaped rock. Look at how cool that is. And it shined up really nice. This needs to look really nice. See how this rhyolite is. I love rhyolite. Because of all the vivid colors, the oranges, the yellows, the reds. This is rhyolite. It's not good shine yet, but when they're good and shine, they stand out like crazy. Because you can see from the shiny part from right there, all the yellows and the oranges. Can y'all see that? Maybe if I do it like this here, because each way you look at it, it shows something different. And that's always really cool with them. Here, this one turned out really good. Shined up really good, it's got really good color. Grand Hotel. Where's the Grand Hotel? But you're going to take a taxi from Africa? Wow. I'm in Montana in the U.S. That's a long taxi ride. This one turned out really good. There's the front. There's the back. Oh, cool. Everybody's welcome here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And this one chipped. But it was done. So we're going to have to take the saw and smooth that out. And start it over from step one. This stuff here takes forever to get it polished right. It is not done yet. See, you can see around the edges it's starting to polish, but none of the centers. So we will start it over. Give it some help. I have to run this one through again. Got that one spot right there that didn't polish up, but the rest of it is polished. So we will set that aside right there. This stuff turns out fabulous. That black lace agate. Wait till you see what this looks like without the crust on it. This particular one I cut on 3 sides and then tumbled it. And look at how that turned out. That's just translucent. You can see into the agate from all sides basically, except for this side a little bit. Yeah. Next time you see her on, invite her to come over if I'm not on. I have to be careful because Greg doesn't like you promoting your own channel. She heard Lily Highlander. I talk to her all the time. The other one I talk to is Serenity. Serenity, her and I are always saving each other's bacon. But isn't that trout cool? Lily is here. Hey, Lily. Lily, I made you a mod. She's good people. I'm going to have to take this one to the saw. Maybe not. No. That's it. Tourmaline. Needs just a little more time in the water. But look at how that turned out. I'm not happy with this side here because it's got this on it. That's because it's down in like a valley. Hey, Blue Gobbler, welcome. Where are you from, Blue Gobbler? I am from the Big Sky state of Montana. I moved here 5 years ago. It was the best thing I ever did. Best thing I ever did was move here. This one is not so pretty, but it'll turn out nice when it's done. This is basalt. This is what basalt looks like when it's polished. Well, when I can get it to stay polished. just got to keep putting it in the polish cycle step. I'm trying to get mostly the big ones out of here so I can dump this. Once the big ones are out of there, I can dump the little ones in the colander, which is behind us here on the floor on top of a 5-gallon bucket. See, this is some more basalt. Find all kinds of basalt over here at the Yellowstone River. This is more basalt. This stuff polishes up real nice, but it's really hard. So it takes a long time for it to get a good polish. See, that's some more of that black lace agate. That stuff turns out really nice. And what I like about it is, it turns out different. Each one, you can cut the same rock in 4 pieces, and all 4 pieces would turn out different. That needs to go back in a little bit. We're not going to do that today. I got to get this pile of rocks in front of me down, because I got a tote underneath the table. It's about a quarter full of rocks. I want to get those going. And I got, well, here, this turned out pretty good. I'll just turn the camera and point. I got this tote right here. This is one of those 48-ounce totes. I got this one up here, which is a little bit bigger. And turn this back. And then I got this pile of rocks on the table right here. And then I got, I don't know if you guys can see this, under the table, right here by my hand, there's a big tote, like a 15-gallon tote. That's about a quarter full of rocks. But the pile on the table here was 3 times as big before I got this tumbler. 3 times as big. I've run this. This is the the third complete batch that I've run through here. Some more basalt. You can see it's starting to get a really nice shine, and then it fogs over because it's not quite ready. This turned out really nice. There's a few spots on it that I'm not happy with, but the rest of it turned out really nice. Didn't that turn out good? Like, I'm not happy with this clouding right here. But I would have to run that through again with just water like this one. Okay, get myself situated here. It's time to dump the water off. Anyways. Figured it was easier to just dump the rocks out and go through the colander. Big ones in here. The big one. Alright, so now back you guys up just a little bit. We're going to work on, let's see, what do we want to work on first? We are going to work on this bin right here that I have in my lap. This bin. I'm going to put all of these in here. Maybe not all. That's a good deal. You wouldn't know that I just rearranged this room. Oops. Like 2 months ago. Maybe a month and a half. because this table where we're sitting at used to be to my left, and the table that the saw is on used to be over here, and I was always just this little itty bitty space, half as much as what I have now, because this table here is wider than the dry sink that I bought. So we put the dry sink there. That was a good move. I bought one of them portable outdoor fish sinks. That one there. That almost got thrown in. Start over. And that one's actually done. Well, no, we'll put that back in there. I'll put that one in there. See, if they're rough or they got a sharp edge like that, they go in for step one. See, that's all rough right in there. That's freshly cut, so that's got to go in there. And then we want a bunch of these little tiny rocks in there. Because the little tiny rocks is what keeps it moving. Here's some of that black lace agate. We're going to put that in there. Now watch this one guy's stream. I wish I could remember the name of his stream, because he called these little rocks like this tumbler food. And that's a perfect name for them, because you put them in there and you don't care if the tumbler eats them up, because they're just there, you know, to make the batch move around. Because if the batch doesn't move around, then the grit can't move around. That one in there. And then we're going to put this in there. See, this is wild. Okay, this is more of that like sedimentary rock. And I sent a picture of this to the University of Montana, and I told her that I thought it was sedimentary rock, and she said, "You're right, it is. Looks like the man-made kind, like concrete." Man can't make sedimentary rock. What the heck is wrong with her? Right? Here's a good one. This is one of the big ones. This is what it looks like before you tumble it. And then this is what it looks like after. And you can see all these little itty bitty pieces of rock. You don't put little bitty pieces of rock like that in concrete. I helped my dad pour enough concrete, I know what goes in concrete. And that you do not do. So I thought, well, that's interesting that you think that man can make sedimentary rock, right? And then I thought, wait a minute, she works at the friggin' college. There's one to make you go, huh? What? That's gonna be about it. The little ones. I hate spiders. And there was a spider crawling up the back side of the phone here, so I had to take care of it. Do I have any more little ones? Some things. Yep. And I found the trick with this. Okay, most tumblers, you put the rocks in, like this is for the burnish cycle, and you let them go for 12, 24 hours. This one, I got to check it at 3 hours and just pour the water off and pour fresh water in, and then I end up with what I showed you. And I am forever amazed at what nature does. One. And that's the thing with rock tumbling. It's all trial and error. They give you directions on how to do it to get you going. But after that, it's up to you to make adjustments for your tumbler in your area. They don't tell you none of that. They do not tell you that. But in a way that makes sense, because, you know, like where I'm at, I'm like 3,800 feet above sea level, between 38 and 4,000. And got one stuck on here. And when you're at different sea levels, stuff just doesn't work the same. And you can't expect, like, what would work at your location to work at mine, because I am higher in elevation than you. Does that make sense? Who, Lily? There was somebody else from Craig's channel that said they just checked me out all on their own and liked what I did. Named Smokey something. You know, I spend less and less time on Greg's channel. It's nothing to do that I don't like him or anything. I do. I love him like a brother. But I have things to do, you know. The lady that from Veterans Navigation showed up on Friday. She's going to try to get me into a cheaper apartment. Hey, Eldon. Caps is for mods and myself. Please don't use all caps. Yeah. The one where she thought I could get in, they messaged me back yesterday and said they didn't have any available. And so I wrote them back and said, if there's a list, please put me on it. And he said the waiting list is 3 months long and we're not putting people on the list right now. So I wrote her this morning and I'll let her know that. She's really nice. She came to the house Friday. Now I gotta put a rag over my lap here because this stuff is messy. I'll explain what this is in just a second. Okay, so I use my old slurry, and what this is the spent grit. It settles to the bottom of the bucket, and I have to take a scoop and scoop it out. Yeah, I paid $14.20 here, and she said she could get me into a 2-bedroom apartment with a balcony for under $1,200. I said, go for that, you know. You think you can get me into something like that? Let's go. I have a deck here that I could put water on the floor. I could barricade off for the dog and we could sit out there. I'm not doing that when it's 100 degrees. I'm going to take and put the rag on the floor. It's splattering on the floor. And where's this other rag? Put it in my lap. That's good on that. Now what we will do, we'll take a picture. Get off of there, you stupid thing. We will take the picture and get some water out of the same bucket and pour over the top of that. Picture off so I don't spill water on my lap. Here for a second. Before I put the, oh well. It is too late now. Right? Oh well. What's that, Tanya Tucker? It's too late to do the right thing now. Tanya Tucker song. Alright, that looks like that'll work. Yeah. So, let me put this spoon up. Okay, so the reason we do this is because you cannot take this slurry and put it down the sink, because it will build up over time, and when it dries, it's hard like a rock, and you will have to have a plumber come out and replace your pipes. So you drain off in a bucket. Like I do a 10-gallon bucket, and then some stuff I do in a 2-gallon bucket. And then for reserves, I have a 10-gallon dish pan that I use. I have two of them. One that I put under the dry sink for rinsing stuff off in the sink there. And then one for the saw. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put our grit in here. And okay, I do 2 tablespoons of grit for a 4-pound tumbler. This is 17 pounds. So we need 2, 4, 6, 8. We need 9 tablespoons. Oh, and we want a tablespoon of borax. Borax is what makes the slurry thick. Yeah, I would be glad, because like I said, I pay $14.20 for rent, which I don't mind because I live in a good neighborhood, I have great neighbors, and all of that. But I need to get my finances under control. Spoon again and push this off to the side. You don't want nothing sticking up. It's going to touch your seal. And make a divot right there. That'll work. Okay, now, because the seal is just, this is the seal, this is just rubber, which come the end of the month, I have to order some seals for this, because I don't want to get it to where I need seals and don't have them. And I'll also order drive belts. Because if you check out the live from yesterday, at the beginning of the live, I showed how to adjust the drive belt on this tumbler. It's not hard. It's a pain at times, but it wasn't hard. It was not hard at all. There was 2 screws, 2 nuts, and had to loosen 4 bolts. Did not have to take them off, just had to loosen them. Because these sit on the pulleys, not the pulleys, the wheels to turn it. So I always kind of wipe them off. Give the tumbler a once over, kind of wipe it a little bit. Not everyone does, but it's just something that I do. Always taught to take care of your stuff. I was taught to take care of your stuff. Oil changes, well, I was taught 3,000 miles, but that's with conventional oil. With synthetic, do 5,000 miles. Move you guys because I got to stand up to do this. Stepping on rocks. I always rock it back and forth. Don't really have to do that. Always check and make sure that it's tight. It is. Now we're going to set the time and pack you guys up by me so you can see how I do this. You have to turn it on and hold it in. And there's 48 hours. We want it to go let's do 72 hours. And it'll flash and then it'll stay steady and the red light comes on blinking. That's what lets you know that it's now counting down. This tumbler has been a really big improvement in my hobby. And when I get the money, I get a second one. That way, see, I've got these two, and the original plan was to take these two over here and make them just for polishing. But this does such a good job at polishing, I think I should get another one like it to do the polishing work, because it does better than either one of those two. And this afternoon I'm going to clean one of them up and I'll put it on Facebook Marketplace because I don't need two of them. I'll take the older one, this one over here, this one over here I bought in November of last year. Runs, works well. I just upgraded. So that's what we got for today. You guys got any questions about rocks? If you got any questions about rocks, let me know. I'll try and answer them as best I can. About rocks, about tumbling. One of the things I'm going to cover tomorrow is what to look for when you go rock hunting. I've got some rocks down here that I can do that with. Rocks like this that'll be sitting maybe like that in the dirt, and so show you guys what to look for to know that that's a rock you want to dig up. Do you guys like that? And talk to you guys about how that you don't have to go any special place to rock down. You can go in your front yard, in your driveway. If you live on a gravel road, go to the gravel road. You'll always find something. All right, take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.